What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Before we get started, I'd like you guys to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. Now let's get on with the video. So today is going to be a little bit of a different video. It's going to be a reaction video. A reaction on Jillian Michaels and her response to CrossFit. So for those of you who don't know who Jillian Michaels is, let me just give you a little background. So Jillian Michaels is an American personal trainer, businesswoman, author, and television personality from Los Angeles, California. Michaels is best known for her appearances on NBC's, particularly The Biggest Loser. She also has made an appearance on a talk show, The Doctors. Basically, she's a television personality, influencer, brand ambassador. She's within the fitness space and she has made a video which is her opinion on CrossFit. In no way am I here to bash her. I'm just here to listen, to hear her out on some of her opinions she has and just rebuttal, just give my honest opinion on her opinion, which is never a good thing. When people have their own opinions, it's just their own personal biases. But we're gonna get into the video. You're gonna see my immediate reaction. So let's get on with the video.
So a quick video for you guys on the elements of CrossFit that I don't love. And you might think, haven't we been over this? And I thought we've been over this in spades, but I was noticing a lot of questions coming to me in my app forums about CrossFit and sometimes in the comments on these videos about it. So I figured can't hurt to do a video on it. Look, I am not trying to bash anybody, but when asked a question, I'm going to answer it with my personal opinion. Now, my personal opinion in fitness is based on years of working in fitness and working with individuals who I believe are the best of the best. So when I tell you it's an opinion, it isn't just random, I don't like this. It's based on things that I have learned about and put through paces over decades to see like what works, what doesn't, and why.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop it here. So obviously she prefaces that it's her opinion and that she has her own experiences in the fitness realm. She has her own methodology and her own ways of training. But what it seems like she hasn't really done CrossFit yet. So I'm just gonna roll with it. Gonna see what else she has to say.
All right, so first of all, what don't I like? Well, you're taking some of the most advanced fitness modalities in the world. Gymnastics, Olympic lifts, for example. These are for elite athletes.
All right, so what she's really saying is that gymnastics and Olympic lifts are only for elite athletes, which I don't agree with, because once upon a time, every elite athlete started as a beginner, you know? Everybody starts from somewhere, so I don't understand when she says it's only for I don't know. Let's just keep on going.
And hence the term Olympic lifts. And not only are you making them sort of accessible to the masses, which there are parts of that I like, but parts of it I really don't. For this reason, if we made those things accessible to the masses, then we would have to defer to the expertise of the coach. Like, I would never in my wildest dreams go out and try to teach an Olympic lift. And I have taken probably at least 20 separate training sessions from people who specialize in Olympic lifts just so I can understand it, get the benefits of it. And I wouldn't even dare to attempt to teach it because it's so technical. And with something like CrossFit, you can get a certification. The barrier to entry is like this. I mean, when you're teaching somebody gymnastics, you're teaching somebody Olympic lifts, my hope is that you are an absolute pro, the consummate expert, no matter who you're instructing, be it Olympic athletes or, God forbid, the average bear who just wants to go to a workout class.
All right, I'm gonna stop her here. There's some stuff, honestly, that I can agree with her. Honestly, I agree that, you know, some of the Olympic lifts, the snatching, the clean and jerk, CrossFit is making it accessible to the masses, and that's amazing. You know, if you're interested in learning clean and jerk, snatch, you know, the one of the oldest ways of testing power, strength, and speed. Is one of the oldest sports ever. You know, and CrossFit's made it accessible where if you're just an average Joe, or you know, you work a 9 to 5 and you want to learn those movements, CrossFit has made it accessible to where you could learn those movements. On the flip side though, these are very complex movements. They require a lot of mobility, a lot of training, a lot of timing, a lot of coaching. Basically, it's very hard to take, you know, somebody who works a 9 to 5 day job, desk job, and they're gonna do an hour class, and it's very hard for that coach to teach them proper technique in, let's say, an hour class. Let's say they do it 3 to 5 times a week. It's gonna require a lot of work for that person to master the technique. I kind of understand what she's saying, that these are super technical lifts, and as she said, we have to defer to the expertise of the coaching. Above all else, expertise. You know, you have to learn stuff properly. You have to learn anything you do in life, you should at least strive to learn it in the best possible way. You know, to avoid injury, to avoid bad biomechanics. The way you move your body and the way you comport yourself, that's half the battle. That's more than half the battle. That's everything, you know. So I kind of understand where she's going. Let's just keep on rolling.
So those are my top 2 things. My third is, I really don't want to understand the trainer logic. I don't get it. It has yet to be explained to me in a way that I really understand. Now, obviously, there are some incredible coaches that do have a CrossFit box. There is a guy named Kelly Starrett who I worship and think is a genius. He wrote a book called Supple Leopard. The guy is brilliant. I've read his book cover to cover 3 times. And made him a friend because I am such a fan of his work. But not everybody is Kelly Starrett. In fact, most aren't. And so when it comes to CrossFit programming, while I gather it has now sort of evolved into 3 days on, 1 day off, I still don't understand the programming. To me, CrossFit is exercising, but it's not about having a plan, having a training specific program, and then progressing that plan.
See, all right, we're gonna stop here. So basically, she's saying that CrossFit doesn't have a specific plan. It's not periodized. You know, basically the fitness principles. You know, overload, specificity, all these training. I think there's 7. Yeah, 7. But she's saying that CrossFit's kind of just this random training, which, I mean, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all relative to the goals that you have. You know, if you want to train specifically, you know, competitively in CrossFit, such like I am doing, you need to have a specified training regimen where you're doing strength cycles, conditioning cycles, running cycles. You know, you're touching on all the metcons. You're touching short and fast, anaerobic. You're touching long and low intensity aerobic, and everything in between. You know, you're mixing up you know, strength metcons, body weight, gymnastics, you know, grip strength. There's all these different energy systems that a progressive training program entails. So when she says it's not, you know, when she says it's not specific and we don't apply our training principles, I don't think I can agree with that, because if you look at all the top CrossFit athletes in the world, they only do specified training, you know, specific training where you implement progressive overload throughout your training program. But we're gonna continue.
To me, it seems like beating after beating after beating after beating.
It kind of does feel like that.
Unless something has changed. When I once was instructed to do a CrossFit workout with an old friend, we did 10 box jumps, 1 burpee, 9 box jumps, 2 burpees, all the way down the ladder. The time I was done, my shoulders were killing me. I jammed the hell out of my toes from all those burpees, and my form was a mess. And I was like, what is the logic here?
I'm gonna stop here. So basically she did a workout of burpees and box jump, I think, box jump she said. And basically she wasn't used to the volume, so she was saying she was sore, her form was a mess. But that's what happens when the athlete or the person doing the movement isn't capable, or their musculature isn't able to support the movement. That they're just not fit enough to do the movements, you know. The movements have taxed them too much for them to continue, you know. So it's like bad form. You take anybody, you take a couch potato and you ask them to run, they're gonna be spent. They won't be able to do it. So I don't understand. She's like, what's the point you know, so then what's the point of doing anything, basically? Because we should all just never, you know, at the end of the day, what's the point of doing anything then? You know, if you're not gonna push yourself, if you're not gonna try to get better, then what's the point of doing exercise? You know, we do exercise to feel better, to look better, to progress. You know, you can do anything. It can be as random as you want it to be, or it can be as specific as you want it to be. The point is, it's all relative and specific to the goals that you want. So we're just gonna continue rolling.
Other than just me being exhausted.
Yes, you get exhausted when you do CrossFit. Just saying.
No answer. So again, teach me the logic. I want to know the logic, but there's no logic to that. I don't understand that. On top of which, speaking of trainer logic, when you have exercises that are so technical, like Olympic lifts or gymnastics, why are you doing them for time?
All right. So I want to touch on this. The Olympic lifts for time, 100%, I think, if done incorrectly, could be a detriment to your body. You know, doing, let's say, grace or clean and jerks. I get it, CrossFit gets a slight bad rap for, you know, the reps for time, clean and jerks for time. It's usually the Olympic lifts for time, because traditional strength and conditioning says that you have to rest. You do a maximum load, rest. You maybe do 5 singles at 80%, 5 singles at 85% with proper rest. I understand what she's saying about the Olympic lifts. And, you know, if you're doing 30 clean and jerks for time, you know, if that weight of the 30 clean and jerks is at a high percentage, you know, it's gonna be sloppy form. It's gonna require a lot of energy for your body, a lot of technique, a lot of movement efficiency. You know, the amount of reps you do versus the load, they're kind of inversely related. So what I'm gonna do for 30 reps is not the same weight I'm gonna do for, you know, 2, 3, 4, or even like a single. Look, I totally get the criticism of the 4-time stuff. I understand if from the outside, from traditional strength and conditioning, I completely understand, you know, strength coaches looking at, you know, CrossFitters doing Olympic lifts and kind of criticizing, you know, he doesn't have perfect form. Why is he doing 30 clean and jerks for time, you know? I can understand the criticism, but you have to understand that these clean and jerks for time are relative to the intensity. You know, it's obvious. Let's say your max is 100 pounds. I'm not gonna do 30 clean and jerks at 100 pounds. That's my maximum lift I can do one time. So obviously in a workout, you'd like to scale it down. I'd probably do 30 clean and jerks at a weight that I know I can do 30 clean and jerks at. So anywhere between, I don't know, 50 to 65 pounds, given that my max is 100. But I understand the criticism. She doesn't know enough about, she's not in a CrossFit box, you know, doing repetitive. She's not in the ecosystem, so she doesn't really understand. She just sees a person doing CrossFit or a video and of somebody doing 30 clean and jerks, and she doesn't look at the overarching program around that. You know, we're just gonna continue rolling, but